So we are Team 5, and this is our design project. So we started off with looking at the need and doing some problem building, and basically what we came down to is we saw that in our story, we had this alien character named Roger who was having problems concentrating while in classrooms and being a general disturbance to other students because he couldn't sit still. And basically, he was feeling too energetic. Because of the differences in gravity from his home planet and Earth, he had a lot more energy here because his muscles didn't have to work as hard to do the same actions. So we basically found that the need was to devise a system so he would expel his extra energy that he now had because he wasn't using all of his previous energy due to the gravity differences. And so obviously they didn't realize their own strengths. So the problem we came up with, we needed to do something to fix the distractiveness of his extra energy, and basically whatever solution we came up with needed to be portable because the alien is always moving from place to place, class to class, so the solution needs to be able to move with him from place to place.
Alright, so then we move into the concept generation phase, and what we did with this is we made a morphological chart. A morphological chart, and here it is, and then we also did the mind map. But we ended up coming up with eight designs, and most of this was actually from prior art from both the exercise industry and the healthcare industry. The first two we have on the left is more like electrical impulse, so to be able to electrically stimulate the muscles to get them to work harder. You have a central control box with various pads around the body in the first one, and then in the lower one you have control boxes around the alien's body. And those are the difference between the two. And then the other one we use resistance bands to help, kind of like what we got from the exercise industry. And the first one is a suit with resistance bands all around to provide resistance in no matter the direction. The fourth is actually a surgical procedure, which whenever you actually research the cost of surgery, it's astronomical, so that obviously was not a viable solution, but it was a good type of biological imitation to try and put the surgical bands in there. And then we have the two types of medicine that we got from the healthcare industry. We have the steroids, and then we have a muscle relaxer to kind of counterbalance the two. And then if you have any type of resistance, you obviously are mimicking gravity. So we put resistance bands attached to moving weights on the floor. Obviously that's the most bulky, so that's obviously not a very good thing to do anyways. And then we have built-in weights to assure enhanced design, and that is a really good one because if you have little weights, then it's a lot easier for them to move around. So then we moved to the concept production phase, and we did the pros and cons, and a lot of them had a lot of cons, so we got rid of those. Ended up going to a weight decision matrix, which turns out that at the very end, the suit with bands was the best option. And here it is. Here's our prototype. As you can see, this is obviously inside out, so the bands will be on the inside. And there should be a shirt under this, so the bands won't get in the way of the alien. But that is our thing, and you can tell no matter what direction the alien moves, there's some type of resistance, so it's mimicking gravity constantly, no matter where you are.
Now on to how our design meets the criteria for success. It's clothing, it's a suit, so it's very portable, simple, easy to use, it's quiet, it's not distractive to fellow students and teachers you are teaching the class. Now to our reflection, what we liked about the design process was the iteration, because we felt like it allowed for a stronger product in the end. What we didn't really care for was the morphological matrix. We didn't feel like it really helped us too much. And if we could do something different, we would definitely manage our time a lot better throughout the milestones. What we learned was how to properly use a decision matrix and to generate ideas. Any questions?
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. But the main reason is that, like, if we're a human in our world, obviously there is some resistance due to gravity. So it basically just makes gravity stronger in a way. So, yeah. So whenever they go back to
one of our biggest limitations is artificially controlling gravity per individual, because in a large scale thing you can kind of do it using rotation, but in a small scale you kind of have to do something pseudo-gravitational by deciding.
So you'll have to attach that to something. If you're just wearing a shirt with resistance bands, when you're moving up and down, the shirt's just going to slide. So unless you're actually attaching it to something, so you're forcing the resistance bands to move with you, it's not actually going to resist anything. Do you have anything like that built in? Is there like a glove? Or...
Actually, we're going to add a belt to it as well. And it's also really tight fitting, so it's not going to be loose like this. And whenever the fact that it goes around the three legs, whenever you pull up, then that should be right.
So it'll be like one continuous.
Yeah, in our budget, it's listed as a suit. Like we budgeted out as a full garment for your entire body. So there are pants that accompany it that would probably.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a tracksuit reverse.
We actually had a $12,000 budget, and that's because of the fact that these suits need to be specially designed. We can't just go to Walmart and buy shirts. So we went through every phase of the process, and we looked up and tallied like the workforce and everything, and it ended up costing quite a bit to where it's $12,000 for 150 of these.
The only way to reduce the cost would be to use their own clothing from their own home planet, seeing how they'd already got the manufacturing means to make them. That would be the only real way of lowering the cost. But it was the most feasible.